Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Millions of people love Freya Skye with all of their heart. Having said that, I would like to take this opportunity and this chance to say thank you to every Freya Skye fan of this community who has been with me from the very first video that I ever created about Freya. When I uploaded the first video about Freya Skye, all I ever wanted to do was say something nice about her because I saw something special in her heart and her dedication and her devotion, most of all, to each and every one of you. I saw how passionate you guys felt the better, and I just wanted to say something nice. If I was ever going to be a voice for everybody, if I was ever going to be a part of these conversations, I just wanted to say something nice. And lo and behold, I did. And these videos were seen and heard by more people than ever before. Thousands of people subscribed because they were following Freya Skye's Stars Online tour. They were following Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide last summer. And they had the chance to be a part of something special, and they were drawn within to this YouTube channel. They were compelled by the videos that I created, and it was such a huge honor for me to create what I did, to have such a profound impact on people and their hearts. Thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, feeling as strongly as what you have about Freya Skye, because you put her in a position and allowed her to be in a position to really take over and to really take our breaths away with all of her songs, all of her music, all of her acting, all of her projects. Whatever Freya Skye was a part of, we just wanted to be a part of it. I myself wanted to be a security guard for Freya Skye's security team because I saw so much passion in Freya Skye and so much to love. I saw something special in her, and I just wanted to quit my job at Five Nights at Freddy's and become one of her most main security guards because I saw something special in everything she had to offer and everything she was going to be a part of. You do know that Zombies is really just the beginning for Freya, and she has so many more opportunities to really seize. You know, there was a rumor a while back that she was going to be the live-action Rapunzel for Disney's live-action Tangle, which they are shooting in Spain. And I was kind of hoping for Freya. I was betting on Freya to be chosen because she was so much of a love by all of you, and you guys saw something so special in her. And I think that giving her the opportunity to play such an iconic princess, somebody who she loved with all of her heart, would have been a huge opportunity for her. That honor has been bestowed upon Tegan Croft. I have no idea what kind of a job she's going to do bringing that character to life, but there was always just something about Freya Skye and her appreciation for life and everybody she surrounded herself with, especially Malachi, because their friendship is something that's undeniable, something that we've all taken something special away from. They are so adorable together. I do agree with each and every one of you, so I find time in appreciating that. And if I'm going to say anything at all about Freya and Malachi, it's going to have to be something nice, because they do have the distinction and the responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. And I know that sounds a lot like the original Spider-Man script, but with great power indeed does come great responsibility, and they now have the responsibility of carrying on the legacy and the lineage of the Zombies franchise. Many people don't know how they're going to do it. They have no idea how they're going to come through, but I do believe in their criteria. So because I believe in their criteria, I do see a bright future for them, and their stars shining brighter in that constellation, whatever constellation we talk about, more than ever before. And I've been more than honored to sit in this chair, felt more than honored to create all these wonderful videos about them. Because for every single person watching this video, we all have that one special friend who we feel connected to, we feel drawn to, that we call every night, that we tell everything to. We either have a special friend or a sister who we tell everything to, or a brother who we think more of than our own lives. And that's what makes us so special and life so appreciative, is that we have these moments to share in with everybody who becomes a part of our life, sometimes for the most unexplainable reasons. It just kind of happens. Friendships, bonds between brothers and sisters, sisterhood, bonds between two brothers, whatever you want to talk about. It happens for everybody, and we all find that one person who we think we have a chance of spending the rest of our lives with. It happens for everybody. It may happen for us later on in life. It may happen for others before it does for us. But we all eventually do find somebody, and I think that's the exemplification of what Freya Skye and Malachi Burton's friendship has represented and really stood for, because we've all taken something special away from it. And I may be the only guy on YouTube who feels that way, but I do know there are girls out there who watch these videos all the time who do feel the same way that I do about this friendship, because it's really beautiful. I know there have been a lot of rumors beginning because of this relationship between Freya and Malachi that people never really wanted to give much of a chance to, but it happened because of a lot of jealousy that people had within their hearts for the relationship between Freya and Malachi, because they were so close. They were calling each other every day. They were there for each other every step of the way, and that's to be valued and often appreciated. And I think a lot of people tend to forget just how appreciative people are of this, and that's why critics take full advantage of these opportunities. Actually, earlier this afternoon, I read a review that somebody had written about Freya Skye, and I kind of took exception to that review because I believe that if you're writing a review about Freya, the least you can do as a reviewer is go out of your way to say something nice. Freya is undeniably strong. She is forever passionate about all of you. She's held a very special place in your hearts and held you guys close for what feels like forever. And that's what's so remarkable and so inspiring about Freya, because I can only wish that I could be half the person that Freya Skye is. I said this forever about Ruby, because Ruby was my favorite Descendants character, and she was just so genuinely sweet. And I'm left here just hoping that I could be half the person, really wishing I could be half the person that Ruby Rose Turner was. Even though her time with the franchise was very short-lived, I wish that I could be half the person that Ruby was, be kinder to people, be a better person myself. And I like to believe that some way or somehow I did become a better person, and I did better myself. I learned from my mistakes, and I became a better person. And a lot of people felt drawn into these videos and the stories I share with you guys about my high school experiences or how much of a Disney fan I was, which eventually became a huge fan and supporter of Descendants and Zombies, because there is a future to look forward to. There is something to be really excited about for Descendants and Zombies, Zombies 5, Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. We have so much to be excited about. We have a tour coming up in the fall of 2026, which I will be covering. We have Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland releasing this summer, and we have Zombies 5 as late as 2027. I was forever saying that Zombies 5 was going to happen in 2027. It was a prediction I made early on, and that prediction held true. And because that prediction held true, everybody, fell more in love with this YouTube channel, because every prediction that I made just happened to become a reality for everybody. And that's what made being a fan of Zombies so special, is how much you trusted in me and trusted in this YouTube channel, because trust is very hard to come by. I think it is very important to have a relationship and an understanding between the host of a show and their audience, because that allows you to create the content that they've certainly loved and appreciated over time. And you guys have grown to this content. You felt drawn to this content for the stories that I've shared with you about how much I believe mermaids were going to happen for zombies, and this character's name was going to be this, and this was going to happen for this storyline. There's so much of a potential with the Zombies franchise, because there is a forever extensive library of supernatural characters and supernatural lore to be explored. You guys know there have been over 200 adaptations of just Dracula alone. So many different versions of the Wolfman, so many different stories about zombies and their affiliation with life. There have been so many stories that have been told over the years, and I've lived here on this island myself for a number of years, and there have been so many legendary stories about ghosts and pirates and even mermaids that have been told for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So many stories about how people go missing when they're off in the woods berry picking, or get lost in the fog, or get missing on ghost ships in the fog. There are so many legendary stories that have allowed me to bring these videos to life, and I've been made a believer out of every story that I've told, because I remember going berry picking and sometimes seeing ghost girls in the woods and never seeing them again. Or I remember being in these situations that were, often difficult to really explain. It happens for all of us. We may never realize it, but it happens for all of us. And it gives us a greater appreciation of really how life kind of evolves into something far more spectacular than we ever realize. And that's what Zombies has really evolved into. I remember a situation in English class years ago when the teacher looked at me and she asked me to use a certain word to describe a certain situation, and the word that came to my mind at the time was evolve. And that's really what Zombies has done. It's really evolved into something special. It's become something far more spectacular than we ever imagined it would be. The story of Zen and Addison, where it all began, which eventually became a love story between Victor and Nova, the characters played by Malachi Burton and Freya Skye, who are going to offer so much. I think from the very first moment we saw them put their arms around each other, we knew they were going to be something special. And we've forever been waiting on that legendary kiss, which is meant to happen at one point or another in the Zombies franchise. Now, originally, for those of you who don't know, that was planned to happen in Zombies 4, but because of the age restriction, they took it out of the script. I think Malachi Burton and Freya Skye would have done a fabulous job, executing that scene and doing it very effectively. But the producers, Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim and John Holland, they felt as if it was, not the right time for it to happen. And I kind of agreed with that, because the thing is, if it would have happened too soon, there wouldn't have really been much meaning behind it. So when it eventually happens and it builds up over time, the appreciation that we'll take away from it and have for it will be something remarkable that we will never ever forget. Kind of like how this YouTube channel has forever and always held a very special place in my heart for all the moments that we've created together. I love inspiring people. I love encouraging people that their dreams can come true and can happen for them because I see it every day. I saw people become friends over Descendants of Zombies. I've been seeing dreams come true for forever, and I'm continuing to instill that in the minds of many people who have forever taken something special away from every video that I've ever created. You know, when I was going to high school, I was dealing with a lot of pressure. There's never any denying of me from that. And I was dealing with a lot of pressure, so how I coped with that was I joined a gym. And every day I was working out. I was lifting weights. I was doing different exercises. Every day after school, I would be seen at the gym. And ultimately what happened, I never wanted to be better than anybody else. But I eventually became stronger because I was dealing with a lot of pressure. You know, people were joining sports teams all the time. I knew I never had a chance of joining the sports teams, but I did become a sports broadcaster many years later. I spent many years covering professional sports like pro wrestling, UFC, and different sports, and then I moved from that into entertainment because I ultimately had a love for pop culture, and I had a love for everybody involved with pop culture, which eventually became a love for Descendants of Zombies. I never imagined that this YouTube channel would go on to be so well received and get so many wonderful reviews and become ultimately everybody's favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel ever created. But it's been a profound honor of mine, really a chance to bring something special to life for thousands of people who love hearing me talk about Cinderella, who've loved forever hearing me talk about Alice in Wonderland and reading the book 1,000 times, if never 1,000,000 times over, because each time I read the story of Alice in Wonderland and even Cinderella, it sounded different and it looked different to me. And I think the classic versions of these stories told by Disney were wonderfully done and gave us so much inspiration. No matter who we were, we all took something special away from the characters in Zombies, the stories that were told, even the characters and the stories that were told to us in Descendants, because it was a beautiful way of representing fairy tale characters and gave us something to hold on to and believe in more than ever before. I have loved having the chance to be a part of this wonderful experience, and I've had the honor of meeting and relating to so many wonderful people. And even though I met so many incredible people previously, I know I have my work cut out for me because I still have so many wonderful people to meet. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite anybody watching who has never subscribed here to hit my subscribe button out of love and support for your favorite stars and come along with me on this incredible journey, because I promise you I will never let you down. I will always have something nice to say about your favorite stars for you to look forward to and watch, because I think that the value really needs to be seen in a Descendants of Zombies video that has ever been created. And oftentimes that value is really lacking in these videos that are created. I think when you see the value, a fan of Descendants of Zombies really can see the value and has to see the value in your video before you ever push record. And I think a lot of people have taken something special away from how you've told these stories in such an emphatic way. I've had the honor of watching the premieres of Cinderella. I've had the honor of watching the premieres of Alice in Wonderland and always taking something special away from it. And I've loved every single moment that I've had to meet you guys and share in these wonderful experiences, because there was something special to realize about Alice in Wonderland, how appreciative she was of the friendship she had. There was always something beautiful to see in the story of Cinderella, how she found true love after going to the ball and having a magic spell casted. I've loved experiencing that, and if I could go back in time and relive these moments, I would. You know, I think about, what it would have been like for me growing up watching Descendants of Zombies, because I never had the chance to grow up watching Descendants of Zombies. Obviously, I would have taken away a lot of inspiration and a lot of incentive like you guys are, and I'm here to tell you guys, if in fact you are taking away inspiration and incentive from these franchises, there is nothing wrong. There has never been anything wrong with being a fan of it or taking away incentive and inspiration from these stories. I've seen something special in them, and I've loved them so much, and I've had so much fun being a part of them with each and every one of you to create the videos that I have. And I've loved meeting so many wonderful people. I really have. Because I've seen something special in Freya from the very first moment that I saw her. I knew she was going to be something undeniably special for everybody. And I knew somebody was going to take something special away from her upon watching her. From the very first moment I saw the music video, I think it was the person I thought I knew. I knew she was going to be something special. I knew she was the strongest person ever. And I think that her strength needs to be commended. It needs to be recognized, and it needs to be put on one of those pedestals, because if she's going down in history for being anything at all, it's going to have to be one of the strongest people ever. So many people have seen something special in her, and that's why we create all these wonderful YouTube videos about her. So many people have drawn inspiration from her hoodies and all of her merch. And that's what makes it so fun for me being a content creator, is being able to Photoshop these thumbnails, being able to upload these videos, and just ever only have one hope, and that is that somebody out there is going to subscribe after they watch this video, because they too see something special in what I've created about Freya, about Kylie, about Malia, because there's obviously something special to take away from them every single time. The one thing I've noticed about them in their PR interviews for Descendants and Zombies is this appreciation, this level of appreciation which is truly undeniable and falls nothing short of amazing to me as the content creator, because this is really an honor for me to sit behind this microphone and sit in this chair. It is really a profound honor for me to create so many wonderful videos and just have ever one only hope. And that ever only one hope is that I'm going to touch somebody's heart through the videos that I create. I moved into this house, I created this studio you see behind me, and I've had the time of my life hosting this show, because I never really had the chance to host a show years ago. I was pretty much just a co-host of a show that was pretty much being told what to say and how to feel. And the purpose of me creating videos was pretty much defeated, because I was putting over the host and saying what they wanted me to say, reading off teleprompters and reading off sheets in front of me. Now I pretty much say what I want, how I feel, and pretty much I'm the person that I've always wanted to be. I'm a stronger person because of each and every one of you. I'm offering you guys encouragement through these videos, and it's such a wonderful feeling to be a part of and to really experience. You know, I know that these videos come in the form of me maybe preparing you for a zombie apocalypse and the chances of one happening, but again, that's what allows me to bring so many wonderful videos to life, is encouraging you that the chances of such things as alien invasions and zombie apocalypses could happen. Because even when you least expect it, there's a story that pops up online about a reported alien mothership on the way to Earth to kill us all, or an apparent alien invasion that could happen at any given moment. I've loved experiencing it with you, because I was a child, 13, 14 years old, who had believed that he could get beamed up by aliens in his parents' front lawn, or believed in the chances of a zombie apocalypse. That's what makes these videos so special, and I've loved being a part of it. So if you would love to contribute to this YouTube channel and subscribe by hitting my subscribe button or my like button, I would love for you to come along on this incredible journey, which has truly been nothing short of incredible for me to host and to really have been a part of. The thing about me that separates these videos, I've always believed, is that I can tell these stories in very effective ways that somewhere, somehow, always touch your heart. No matter who the person is watching this video, it always touches their heart, because they too may feel the same way about Freya. They too may feel the same way about Kylie, and that's undeniable, because you see it in your YouTube channel names, and you see it in your content that you upload. You're very passionate about them. So what does that give somebody the right to do? It doesn't give anybody the right to come on here and pretty much discourage your hopes and your dreams of being a fan of Kylie. You deserve to have something nice said about them and to experience their rise in popularity and fame in a way that you never imagined possible. And how you do that is by creating relatable content for thousands of people and present them with a reason, perhaps more than ever before, to hit your subscribe button. I know that I've made the Descendants and Zombies community stronger. Nobody has to tell me that, because that's undeniable. I've made the Descendants and Zombies fans feel more passionate than ever before about Descendants and Zombies. Probably I've inspired you guys to sign up for that one sports team you've always wanted to try out for. I probably even inspired you to join the gym. And if I have, thank you so much for having watched these videos, having listened to me and taken my advice, because nobody really seems to ever have taken my advice for the better part of at least, 25 years. But just the feeling you get from thinking that you may have inspired somebody to become involved with Descendants and Zombies and believe in it even more, that's what makes these videos so worth it. It's ultimately what's made me a stronger person at the end of every day and at the end of every conversation that we have, and it's what makes the community stronger too about Descendants and Zombies and leaves them more excited about the futures of these franchises, which is undeniable. I am so excited to be a part of it and to share in it with thousands of people, and I'm so excited to review this, because Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland is going to be a far deeper story than we ever imagined possible, and it's truly going to be something special to experience. So too is Zombies 5, and I know Zombies 5 feels like forever away. It's not happening until 2027, and you're all like, oh my God, Jonathan Clarke, Zombies 5 is not coming until 2027. But rest assured, it will happen, and I will be sitting in this chair in front of this microphone to cover it for you. Because I think that if you have a chance of believing in something special, then so it should be, and so you should. And I've loved encouraging you to believe in your passions and to continue to follow them, because we never may seem to know what that future has in store, but that's what makes the future so exciting for all of us, is that we never seem to know what the future has in store. And I felt more than honored to be a part of it and to share in it with thousands of people who have drawn so much inspiration from these unbelievable franchises and this tremendous experience. Thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, one of the greatest that has ever been created. And as always, thank you so much for having watched these videos, because you never know what Jonathan Clarke has in store to have a conversation about every night, and you never know how many people I'm going to touch the hearts of and leave inspired. Thank you so much once again for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. And as always, thank you so much for having watched these videos. I've considered this an honor to record thousands of videos about Descendants and Zombies, your favorite franchises, and I felt more than honored to be a part of it and to have experienced this with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel, and as always, thank you so much forever and always for watching this video.